Hello everyone, welcome back to another morning tank maintenance. So that's what I'm down to in my 5-gallon jug, and that's what I went through in 4 days. It is so dry where I live that the water just evaporates at an exponential rate. Well, that's winter for you. Here's one of my shrimp. I noticed they have these like pale lines running down their heads and backs, and I'm not exactly sure what that is. There you can see it a little bit better. Like, what is that? Why is that pale line there like that? Let me know. So I think we've determined that these giant pest snails in the 5-gallon are a species of ram's horn, and I would believe it. Ram's horns grow very fast and they eat a ton of algae. Now, that's not to be confused with my giant ram's horn snails. These guys are about 4 or 5 times the size of those smaller ones you just saw, and they eat plants like pearlweed and pumpkin. So Charlotte drastically expanded her web. She has a much larger enclosure now. That's cool. Here's Dwarf, my African dwarf frog. I get questions periodically about him and what breed he is. Yeah, just an African dwarf frog. You can find him at just about any pet store, at least around me you can. I think they're like $10 a piece. They're not very expensive. I think it's because they're pretty volatile. You don't really know what's going to happen with them. They can be hard to keep. I did have another one just for a little bit, but it grew an infection in one of its limbs, which is actually very common in them. And it ended up passing away, and so I've just stuck with my one for now because he's doing good. His name is Dwarf because that is frog backwards, and I thought that was clever. He loves to eat brine shrimp. I feed it to him just like this. He recognizes me. He eats a lot. Alright, let's test some water parameters. Not a thing to worry about in the 20-gallon. And test the 5-gallon. 5-gallon looking just as healthy. I'm going to put a few more of the brine shrimp in the 5-gallon for the endlers in there. And then the rest into the 20-gallon. Man, they go absolutely ballistic for that stuff. Alright everyone, thanks for joining me for another morning tank maintenance. I'll see you next time.